No, there we go. Cat, you're in the back.
Okay.
All right. What a vlog. Hey, goals. Let's see. I don't know if you guys will even be able to hear the music, genuinely. I think I have to turn it even louder. Maybe not. I don't know. Let's see if you guys even see that I am live. Let's see. Share. Does the Discord even say that we're live? Does it? Does it not? Does it? I don't think it does. Does it? Does it not? Nope. It fails. Your connection is unstable. Well, my connection's unstable because I don't know. It's usually not unstable. So everything wants to just mess up today, I guess. Let's see. Horror threads. Hi. Let's see. Oh, I'm not good at this whole influencer stuff sometimes because I need to be like, hey guys on Facebook, hey guys on Instagram that I'm live, but yeah, I'm not good at this. That was a horrible picture. I'm not good at this. I'm gonna shut this music up. This music's annoying me. Thanks, fun. To live. Okay. Where's it? Where do I post? Like, put this? Oh, here's the link. Nope, not autofill. It's out here for my neck. Like, come on, please work. All right. I'm gonna hear myself in my own headphones for a minute. Yeah. That was annoying. Let's see. There. Okay. Oh, oof, that would have been bad. All right. There we go. We're trying. We're out here trying. So now share the screen. We're gonna share the window. Oh, haha, I didn't open it. It's been a minute. It's been a hot minute. Go to TikTok first. TikTok.
For 2 minutes. Oh, wait, that's 2 minutes. If you guys made
Always yelling at us already. Should we see if we get restricted again? Oh. That was wild. We just got here. That was crazy. It looks like there's a child. Can you hear this or no? Okay. Now can you can't hear this at all? He's literally screaming. How, Lily? How do I change my audio? I don't feel like a boomer. How do I do this? I actually well, hold on, go out. We can go out. Can you wait, could you guys even see the screen or no? Oh.
Do not get a. Do not
That
get a.
explains a lot then.
2, 3. This
No one wants to hear you sing, girl. Sorry. I'm not trying to be rude, but
Ian with the roses. Thank you, Ian.
I'd be smart sometimes, that would help.
Do you want me to leave the
There we
building,
go.
spirits?
I was like, "Hey, what's up? Hello."
There was someone staying. What? 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 Somebody said there was someone standing in the freaking staircase. Somebody said there was someone standing in the staircase. Oh my god.
Hey.
Esme with the roses. Thank you, Dream with the rose. Somebody said there was someone standing in the
It
freaking
was me.
staircase.
I
There's actually
was
no shot,
staring,
right?
was staring.
There's actually no
Standing
shot, right?
in the staircase. It is me. I am the
Oh
one who's standing.
my gosh, Street with the roses, Sands with the roses. Shoot, there was people saying they saw someone in the staircase. When we had our lights out to the lowest setting, guys, there was people saying they saw someone in the freaking staircase,
That
bro.
plane scared me.
What is going on?
What the fuck?
Oh my god! What the fuck is that? We're so far. Oh, we are so far with the private jet. That's 4.8 thousand
Are
coins.
we
That's the
gonna
biggest
just
gift of the night.
screaming
That's the biggest gift
about-
of the night, dude. Oh my gosh, that's
Yeah.
4.5 thousand coins.
All right.
That's
fine.
4.5. That's 4.8 thousand. No fucking way. That is the biggest gift of the month. That is the biggest gift of the month, dude. Thank you so.
If we're just gonna
the worst
Oh my-
place.
what
for
is
me to
happening?
be.
Yeah. He is. He's very loud. He's very, very loud. What are you
Is there
guys
somebody
doing
else in this
situation?
building with me? Dude, I feel like I've been here before. Hello? What the fuck? Is there somebody else in this building with me? Dude, I feel like I've been here before. Hello? What the fuck?
This is the most clear footage I have ever seen of a ghost caught on camera. Phyllis sent this in to me and was kind enough to allow me to share it with all of you. This footage came from her daughter Sarah's Ring doorbell. She has had noises in her house, but didn't really think it was haunted. She thought maybe it was animals or just house settling stuff until she caught this. So this appears to be a figure walking from the top of the stairs all the
You
way
guys
down the
see it?
staircase
No,
and
I
then
see it.
walking off to somewhere off camera.
Yo.
This is the full video, and what makes this even more amazing is you can see the wind direction based on where everything else is
Crazy.
blowing. You can see that this figure is going in a complete different direction from everything else, which gives it even more validity, in my opinion. This is
It's trying to go
absolutely
somewhere.
incredible footage.
Probably to eat.
And thank you
hungry.
so much to Phyllis
I'm
and
hungry.
Sarah for allowing me to share it with all of you. Let me know how you interpret this footage and what you think. This
They probably just hunger. I feel like that has to be. Homeboy. That's Homeboy. What is that? That's just weird. What do we rate it? Do we rate it like not real? Do we s- do we say it's not real? What the? Yeah.
I think it's safe to say that our luck has officially turned around, guys. We are back, baby. We are fucking back!
To all of the spirits in the building, we have a
I
brand.
swore I clicked a baby. on
To
here.
all of the spirits in the building, we
Yeah,
have a
baby.
brand new show.
Well, that was a scam. That was a complete scam. All right, whatever. Let's go to horror. We'll go to horror for now. He has pretty eyes, that dude over there, though. I'm more like, ooh, that guy has pretty eyes.
Ooh.
Nope.
All right, here are some movies that have scared the shit out of me. And
He's weird. jump. Okay. Floating head.
Mom? Mom?
Okay, let's switch to YouTube. Let's switch to YouTube. I feel like I sound like Dalen because Dalen always repeats himself. Let's switch to YouTube. Let's switch to this. Let's switch. Let's switch. Let's switch. He like says it. 6-7.
Hello.
Hey, what's the last two digits of your phone number?
6-7.
Oh, 6-7, 6-7.
6-7.
Jeez, Layla, don't sneak up on me like that.
Well, I thought you wanted to play.
Oh yeah, I got something I want to try.
Well, you joining or not? We have to wake up the board first.
You have to wake up the board. I knew I did something.
1, 2, 3. Okay. Are there any spirits here with us tonight? Did you do that?
No, I didn't do anything. Okay, my turn. Spirit, what comes after 4-5?
Haha. It comes after 5.
Six, 7, 6-7, 6-7.
Bentley, you're not supposed to take your hands off without saying goodbye.
6-7, 6-7, 6-7, 6-7, 6-7, 6-7, 6-7, 6-7, 6-7, 6-7,
Knock it off! You're making it angry!
I remember.
6-7, 6-7, 6-7, 6-7.
Bentley, quit it!
No fun.
Okay. Here we go. We're going on YouTube as well. Anyway. TikTok.
What was that? Sounds like footsteps. Now shh. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, 6-7, 6-7.
Oh shit. It's 7.
Guess what time I died? 6, 7.
Okay, I don't rank that as so scary. What do you guys think? Like, what? Like 6'7", 6'7". You're just traumatized. I'm so sorry. Like, I don't even understand what just happened. Welcome. Let's watch Thanksgiving horror, I guess.
It was a rainy Thanksgiving. We have a small family, so our family gatherings are tiny. It was my mom, my 2 sisters, our grandparents, and I for dinner at my mom's house. My older sister Nancy has been moved out for years. My younger sister Jamie and I still live at home with our mom. Our grandparents live 20 minutes away. Our dad's side of the family all live in a different town. We were all helping out with cooking and such, and our grandma was bringing over some food as well. We always do Thanksgiving dinner at 6 o'clock sharp.
I actually have
Our
no
grandparents arrived at like 5 o'clock. We had to go out and help them walk through the
Yeah,
rain
no
up the
idea.
front stoop to make sure they didn't slip. It was really bad out. Once they were here, we put the football game on in the living room, and I sat with my grandparents and watched football with my grandpa, who's a big Cowboys fan. My sisters were in the kitchen helping my mom with the food. The rainstorm created for a more comfortable and relaxing Thanksgiving evening. That is, at first. When it was time to set the table, I went to help. We were all at the table by 6 o'clock as per the usual. We had a giant selection of food for the small amount of people we were. Turkey, leg of lamb, potatoes, stuffing, corn, cranberry sauce, cornbread, and more food I'm probably forgetting. We were all at the table eating, drinking wine, and talking before we migrated to the living room, where there we all watched the football game. Then, sometime before the game ended, the doorbell rang. It was still pouring outside, and we weren't expecting anyone else. Our mom said, "Oh no, what if that's your father?" Long story short, our parents don't speak, but the idea of our father coming to surprise us wasn't impossible. My mom told me to go check who it was, so I went to the door and yelled through it, "Who is it?" But the sound of the pouring rain on the front awning drowned out the sound of a male's voice on the other side. So I opened the door, with the storm door still closed and locked. There was a black man on the other side of the door. He was in some really big rain jacket with the hood up.
The black
When
man.
I opened the door, he walked closer and yelled something through the door. I had to ask him to repeat it twice before I understood him to be asking for food, saying he's hungry. Then he said something along the lines of, "The Lord will give you good karma if you spare some food." I said, "1 second." I went to the living room and told my mom there's a possible homeless or just very hungry man asking for food at the front door. My mom said close the door, while my grandma said give him some food. I said I'll make a little paper plate of food for him from the leftovers. I went to the kitchen, grabbed a bunch of paper plates to account for the rain outside ruining them, and then sandwiched some of the leftovers together with them. Then I went to the front door where the guy was still standing. I held up the plate to show him, and he tried opening the door. I yelled, "Wait, it's locked." But I already was wary now after he tried opening the door. Regrettably, I still unlocked the door, and the second I started to push it open, he pulled it open with force and tried pushing his way through me. I instantly threw the food and held him back, yelling for my sisters to come help me. As Nancy came to help shut the door, I saw 2 more guys rushing up the front walkway to the door. I managed to push the man out enough to clear the door, and I helped my sister slam it shut. The second it was locked, I ran to the backyard door to make sure it was locked. I was the only able-bodied man in the house, and I felt like it was on me to protect the house. My family was in hysterics as we were brainstorming what to do. Not so shockingly, we settled for calling the police. My mom called while I kept going from window to window looking outside. It was hard to see out through the pouring rain, but through the backyard window, I saw a couple men running through the grass to the back door. I'd imagine they tried opening the back door and failed, and then I saw them running through the grass again back to the gate. Then they were gone. When the police got here, the food that I dropped onto the front stoop was still just sitting there, all scattered on the porch. Not that it wasn't obvious that those guys didn't come for the food, but it's something worth mentioning. Our Thanksgiving was almost turned into a complete nightmare if it weren't for my and my sister's quick reactions. I know my grandma had her heart in the right place, wanting to help the seemingly needy, and I was influenced by her. But unfortunately, we live in a world where sometimes trying to do the right thing could bite you in the ass. We installed the doorbell camera soon after this.
Hi. Okay, so what do you guys think of that last story? Like, what do you think? Would you answer the door? And if you saw a man wearing completely black clothes, hi, would you give the man the food? I don't think I would either. It's just wild. Like and then like there's 3 extra men that came out of the 2, not 3. I can't count. But 3 extra men that just came out of the blue, like hell no. Like no. That was crazy. Fuck that.
It was Thanksgiving night. I was over at my parents' house for dinner since they were hosting this year. I got to see some cousins and uncles I hadn't seen in almost a year. We had a typical Thanksgiving gathering for our family. My parents cooked a big meal as usual. Before dinner, though, I got a long essay of a text from some unknown number. I won't share it because it contains a lot of personal revealing details. But it started with, "Hey Melissa, hope your Thanksgiving is going well."
I got this.
Then I quickly came to realize who it was that sent this text. It was this crazy stalker guy named Kevin, who I'd never even met before. We matched on a dating app and texted and snapped for a while, but we never met. He gave me obsessive vibes, and when I politely rejected going on a date with him, saying I don't think we have much in common, he got even more obsessive and aggressive. He even threatened me one time when I posted a Snap story of my friend and I getting drinks because he thought I was on a date with a guy. That was when I blocked him on everything, Snapchat, Instagram, and his number. But the contacts didn't stop there. I'd get random Instagram accounts with 0 followers attempting to follow me, and I'd block them each time. Same thing on Snapchat. I'd get random accounts hitting me with different guys' names every time. Whenever I'd add them back out of curiosity, their Snap scores were always 0. After reading the entire message, I was disgusted. He was gaslighting me and borderline threatening me. I replied, "If you keep contacting me, I will go to the police." I took so long to form a reply I was okay with that my grandma got annoyed and asked me to put my phone away. It was only out of sight and out of mind for maybe half an hour before I got another text from another random number. It was another essay. I didn't want to completely ruin my mood and be on my phone dealing with this when I was with family. I put my phone away and just tried to focus on being a part of the conversation. When family started to leave and things started to slow down, I checked the text, and it was disturbing. It was longer than the first one, and it was him berating me and insulting me the entire time, acting like the entitled, narcissistic sociopath that he clearly is. When there was just a small amount of my family left, I showed them the texts, and they were appalled. My mom wanted me to go to the police the next day to report him for harassment, which I planned on doing. I soon left my parents' house to go home to my apartment. My apartment is the lower floor of a 2-family house. My friend Chelsea is my roommate in the apartment. I got home before her, and I went straight to my room to look for Christmas movies to watch. My phone started ringing, and it said unknown caller. I knew it was him. I denied it and silenced my phone. I put on some silly rom-com Christmas movie to fall asleep to. It was called Surviving Christmas. All I remember about it is that it had James Gandolfini in it. It was late at night, so I didn't plan on making it through the movie. I was getting sleepy halfway through the movie when I heard walking from outside my room in the house. It was in the apartment, not from upstairs, so I assumed it was Chelsea getting home from her night with her family. The footsteps came straight to my door. Then someone attempted to open my door. I always lock my bedroom door at night, even though I trust Chelsea. It's just a natural habit I have. I paused the movie and listened as the doorknob turned a few more times. Before I yelled, "Chelsea?" Then it stopped. I heard quiet footsteps walking away from the door. I grabbed my phone, about to call Chelsea, and I saw a bunch of texts on my screen from a third random number. The most alarming one was a threat saying, "Good thing you made it obvious where you live." I tried calling Chelsea like 5 times, but she never picked up. I called my parents a bunch of times until my dad picked up. I whispered into the phone that I think that crazy stalker was in the house. My dad said to stay put. He was coming over right away. We lived 10 minutes away from each other, but he made it to me in 5. That's how fast he drove here. During that time, I stayed on the phone with my dad the whole time until Chelsea called me back. That's when she told me that she wasn't coming back to the apartment tonight, so it for sure was not her. When my dad got here, the front door was locked. I had to let him in. I swore to him that I wasn't imagining what happened, and so after we tore the place upside down, he went to the big sliding window by the kitchen, big enough that anyone could fit through, and he lifted it
I
open.
don't like windows.
He turned to me and gave me a stare of disappointment. He scolded me after learning that I didn't lock the windows every night and said, "Here's my answer on how someone got in here." I went back home with him and slept at home that night. First thing in the morning, my dad took me to the county court's office where they gave us step-by-step instructions for getting a temporary restraining order. Skipping most of the legal process of this story, I eventually did see Kevin in person when I had to go to court to get the restraining order extended. The judge granted the extension, and though I could never prove he broke into my apartment, his threatening texts were plenty, and if he ever contacts me again through any outlets, he'd be arrested. This was a truly dangerous man, and I hope he hasn't found anyone else to harass.
That's wild. Like, no thanks. I'm good.
Most of my family lives in a rural part of Central Florida, closer to the East Coast though. My Uncle Ben was hosting Thanksgiving one year. His house sits on a huge lake with like 5 other houses, that's it. I don't want to give the name of the lake or the town because that would be doxing my uncle basically. It's not a fancy house and setup like you're picturing, trust me. It's rustic, but private and spacious. My uncle is a bit of a redneck, but he makes our holiday gatherings more fun. Him hosting Thanksgiving this year meant that he'd be going all out, making it like a party basically, with music, cornhole, coolers full of beers, and all of that good stuff. We got to his house around 3. During the day, we all drank some beers, ate some snacks like chips and dip, and played drinking games together. Card games, cornhole, and even basketball with my cousin. Though the basketball didn't last long with 3 beers and a bunch of chips in our stomachs. This all went on for a few hours with music blasting. An unusual way of celebrating Thanksgiving, I know. Then as it started getting darker around 5:30, Aunt Mel and Uncle Ben started bringing the food out to the table. They set the table up under the big gazebo. It was around sunset when everything was set up and we were all eating. The gazebo has lights, so when it got really dark, the lights turned on. By 6 o'clock, it was basically pitch black out. My uncle's probably the only one alive who insists on doing Thanksgiving dinner outside, but we all enjoy it. It makes it more fun. The fun soon ended, though. My cousin suddenly pointed out past me to the woods, saying, "Dad, who's that?" Uncle Ben turned around and said, "Who the hell?" There was someone standing out in front of the woods like a statue, watching us eat. Uncle Ben stood up and started walking over to the guy standing by the woods, and then he yelled, "Can I help you with something?" I'd say he was about halfway to the woods when the guy turned around and ran into the woods. Uncle Ben turned around and laughed. He was definitely drunk by this point, finding humor in this. He said must be one of the local nuts as he came back to the table to sit. My Aunt Mel was not as amused, and I kind of agreed with her. That was creepy. My dad joked that between all the men here, there's nothing to worry about. The lightheartedness of this did not last though. This time I spotted the guy. He was standing by the woods again, though closer to the lake this time. I pointed it out to everyone. My uncle got up, pissed off this time. He started marching over again, yelling and taunting the guy. His drunkenness was really starting to show now, just in the way he was confronting the trespasser. But then we noticed there was another guy in the woods, on the complete opposite side of the yard. And when the one guy that Uncle Ben was approaching ran into the woods again, the other one stayed put. As Uncle Ben came back to the table, we said there's another one. So my cousin, myself, and my dad all got up now, ready to help my uncle confront these people. And with that, the second guy ran into the woods. By this point, we decided it was time to clean up. We started all cleaning the table and bringing plates and food inside to the kitchen. When everything was cleared out of the gazebo, we all sat inside the living room. Uncle Ben left the lights on outside, because I know he and Aunt Mel were on high alert with people running around their property being creeps. They didn't look like kids, that was the thing. And who would do this on Thanksgiving is the question. Our accepted theory was at the time that it was just some drunk older teens or young 20-year-olds with no family gatherings messing around being assholes.
Pretty happy right now.
Eventually, I wanted to grab another beer, which was in the cooler outside still. As I got up, Uncle Ben and my dad both asked me to grab one too. So I went outside and walked over to the gazebo. I made it to the cooler, suddenly feeling really uneasy. The gazebo light was off now. I looked around, analyzing my surroundings. I grabbed as many beers as I could hold, just so I wouldn't have to come back out here again. Then I started walking back to the house, when I heard one of the chairs under the gazebo sliding on the concrete. I turned around. There was someone under the gazebo, walking around the table. He looked massively tall, like 6'5". I started yelling for Uncle Ben as I ran back to the house. He, along with my dad, came out, and I said, "There's a guy over there." And then, as if someone else was responding to me saying that, there was a banging from the other side of the house, like someone was hitting the siding with their hand. Seeing my uncle and my dad genuinely frightened made me frightened too. We went inside, and Uncle Ben locked the door. We didn't know how many people were outside of the house, but we felt like the house was surrounded. And Aunt Mel started shutting every last curtain and blind in the house because we felt like we were being watched from the outside. Uncle Ben called the police, which was a first. It felt completely out of character for him to involve the police in anything. He was only on the phone with them for like 5 to 10 minutes. Then he waited in the living room, with clear tensions and unease in the room.
Hell. Oh my god.
There was this quick and sudden loud bang on the glass, followed by a window in the kitchen completely shattering. Aunt Mel yelled at Uncle Ben to go get the old rifle from the closet. He yelled back the thing hadn't been loaded in years. Luckily, the police response time was pretty good. A singular beep of the siren from the police car outside let us know he arrived. One of the people outside had thrown a brick through the window with a note attached to it, saying, "Leave now, you f***ing," which felt like a threat.
That was fun.
His Trump flag was also missing the next day, which created the possibility of those people's motives being political. That's really the most realistic theory, because unless my aunt, uncle, and cousin are secretly the worst neighbors ever, I see no other reason why their house would be a target for something like this. On Thanksgiving, nonetheless. There really are some sickos out there.
So what do we think of the Thanksgiving stories? Do we think they're actually real? Do we think people wrote them? Wow. Like, what do we think? And do we want to stay on real horror stories? Or I guess real, quotation marks, real. Or do we want to go back to like the horror movies idea on here? There's so many horror movies idea on Tickety Talk. Not Tickety Talk, but YouTube. I'm down for either or. I've got sleep paralysis right here. I have not ever gone through sleep paralysis, so I don't even want to like trigger that because that just freaks me out. True. What about you, YouTube? What do you guys think? Do we want the actual like horror movies with the actors idea of it, or do we want these? Oh, ex-stalker stories. I'm good. Thanks. Okay. Let's do. Hey, Camila. I thought that said quesadilla. I was like, what the heck? Okay, hotel horror story. Let's go.
I used to travel a lot for work, and most of the time I stayed in cheap but decent hotels because I didn't care about anything except having a bed and a shower. Nothing scary ever happened to me in any hotel before, so I never thought about danger or weird people. That changed during a trip I took for a training event in a small city in Pennsylvania. I checked into a regular-looking hotel that had a small lobby with old, depressing red carpet and a smell that reminded me of my grandma's house. The woman at the front desk gave me a room key, and I went up to my room on the 3rd floor. The hallway was very quiet and felt a little empty in a strange way. My room was pretty normal with a small bed, a desk, and a bathroom. I threw my bag on the bed, turned on the TV, and tried to relax. I was tired from driving for hours, so after showering and watching TV for a bit, I tried to fall asleep. I woke up in the middle of the night because I heard something sliding on the floor.
Oh, hell no.
At first, I thought it was the ice machine or some noise from the hallway. I was half asleep and did not want to get up, but then I heard the soft sliding sound again. And this time, it was right by the door. I turned on the lamp and looked at the door. Something small and white was sticking out from underneath. I got up slowly and picked it up. It was a folded piece of paper. There was handwriting inside, very messy and uneven. It was only a few words, telling me that someone was watching me from somewhere inside the hotel. My heart started beating harder because I had no idea who could have written that. I didn't hear any footsteps after the note appeared, and the hallway had been dead silent. I stood in the middle of my room, feeling unsure if I should open the door or stay inside. I decided to lock the chain lock and sit on the bed with my back against the wall. I kept the lamp on so the room would not be so dark. I felt too awake to sleep now. About 20 minutes passed before I heard the sliding sound again. I stared at the bottom of the door, waiting to see what would happen. Another small piece of paper slid through slowly, like someone was gently pushing it with one finger. I walked up to it and picked it up. The second note said something even stranger. It said that person had been inside my room earlier in the day before I arrived, and they liked watching people sleep in this hotel. The handwriting looked shakier than the first note. I felt a wave of fear go through my chest, because the idea that someone had been inside my room was too real to ignore. I looked around the room, even though I knew no one was in there right now. I checked under the bed, inside the closet, and behind the shower curtain, even though I already knew it was empty. After checking everything, I sat on the bed again, trying to decide if I should call the front desk, but it was after 2 a.m., and I had this paranoid feeling that the person sending the notes might be someone who worked at the hotel. The handwriting looked strange and shaky, maybe like an older person or someone who was unstable. I tried to calm myself down, thinking maybe this was some prank, but it felt too personal. I sat still for another half hour and tried to listen for any sound. Every tiny noise made my body tense up. Even the air conditioner clicking or the pipes tapping, everything made me jump. I told myself that if a third note came, I would go straight downstairs. I would not wait any longer.
I'd be going.
I kept my eyes on the door, but forced myself to breathe slowly. After a long period of silence, I started to relax again. But then the third note came. The sliding sound was even slower this time, like the person wanted me to hear it. I walked up to the door again. The third note said something completely different from the first two.
Fight them.
It said the person was already inside the room with me again. I stared at the words for a long time. I looked around the room again, even though I had checked everything before. I slowly turned in a full circle, expecting to see someone in the corner or behind the curtains. I couldn't even breathe normally now. The idea of someone hiding in the room with me made my chest feel tight. I grabbed my bag and made the decision to get out immediately.
Fuck that.
I went to the door and looked through the peephole. The hallway was empty. I unlatched the chain lock and opened the door quickly. I rushed out and slammed it behind me, then ran down the hallway trying to stay quiet, but also wanting to get as far from that room as possible. When I reached the stairs, I looked back only once. At the far end of the hallway, I thought I saw a shadow move behind the corner near the last room. It looked like someone stepping back out of sight. I hurried downstairs to the front desk where a different employee was working. He looked half asleep, but when I told him what happened, he looked extremely confused. He said there were only 3 other guests on my floor, and none of them had been walking around. He offered to give me a new room or let me check out early. I decided to check out early and drive to a different hotel, even though it was after 3 a.m. Before leaving, I asked if someone could check my room to see if any windows were open or if anything was disturbed. He took me upstairs with a master key, and when we entered my room, everything looked normal. But the window lock was broken in a way that looked recent. The employee looked nervous and said maybe someone from outside had gotten in earlier. I grabbed my bag and left the moment he finished talking.
Yikes.
I drove to a different hotel 20 minutes away and barely slept. The next morning, I called the original hotel to see if they had found anything else. They said nothing strange came up. No cameras caught anyone near my room. No other guests complained about anything.
Mr. Nightmare is off.
They made it seem like the whole thing was just a weird misunderstanding, but I didn't buy it. I think he was lying. Something strange was going on in that hotel. I still remember the feeling that someone was right outside my door watching me. And the worst part is I keep thinking about the third note saying the person was inside the room again. That's the part that doesn't make sense and made me question if it was maybe a prank, but the broken window latch said otherwise. I checked everywhere. There was no one. The window latch being broken makes me think that the person might have been coming and going before I ever realized anything was happening.
The person's an
I
employee.
never went anywhere near that hotel again.
Like, the person is employee. Like, what do we think? How long would it have taken us to go? Like, I would have been gone at probably the second note. I would have been like, yeah, no, I'm not staying here. Like, first note, second, or third? Who's gone at the, like, which note are you guys leaving at? The second note, yeah. As soon as you get the second note, I'd be gone too. Yeah, the idea of trying to, like, wait till, like, the third note, I'm sorry. I think it's a straight up an employee. Like, how else are you gonna get in and out of that room so seamlessly? It's like, this seems to be the only thing that makes sense. It has to have been an employee. Which, I want to know what hotel that is, so I can never go there. All right, let's go. Ooh, the next one's a female story.
I stayed at a hotel in Virginia during a long drive to visit family because I was too tired to keep going. It was late at night, almost midnight, and the hotel looked basic but clean. The parking lot had only a few cars, and most of the building looked dark from the outside. When I walked into the lobby, the man at the front desk barely looked up. He gave me my key, and I went to the 3rd floor. Most of the lights were dim, and every door I passed had the Do Not Disturb sign hanging, like no one wanted to be bothered. Definitely the type of hotel that people stay at out of necessity only. My room was at the end of the hallway. When I opened the door, the room looked fine, but a little messy in a way I couldn't explain. Like the lamp was tilted, one of the drawers to the dresser was slightly open, the blanket on the bed had a small wrinkle near the corner, as if someone sat there recently. It looked like housekeeping rushed or simply just did not care. I dropped my bag on the chair, turned on the TV, and got ready for bed. I got into bed and tried to sleep, but I kept thinking about how messy the room was when I came in. The more I thought about it, the more weird it seemed. I remembered that the front desk man didn't even mention housekeeping when he checked me in, and the whole hotel felt too empty, but I forced myself to ignore it and finally drifted off. I don't know how long I slept. I woke up to the sound of my doorknob turning slowly. It was such a faint sound at first that I thought maybe the air conditioner made it, but then the handle clicked lightly again, like someone trying to test the lock without waking me. I stared at the door. The room was dark, except for the glow from the TV, which I had forgotten to turn off. I could see the shadow of the door handle move slightly. Someone was outside trying to open it. After a few seconds, the handle stopped moving. I stayed still, waiting for another noise. Then the sound came again. It was different. It was a small metal scraping against the lock. It sounded like someone sliding a key into the keyhole. But that didn't make sense because no one should have a key to my room besides staff. The key turned, but the door never opened. I could see a thin sliver of hallway light in the gap. The door pushed gently once, then stopped. I waited for a voice or footsteps, but there was nothing. Then the door closed softly again, like the person walked away. I stayed awake for almost an hour, listening for footsteps or any sound in the hall. When nothing happened, I convinced myself it was maybe a staff member who mixed up room numbers, and when they realized, they left. I went to relock the door, then I fell asleep again from exhaustion. Fast forward to like 2:15 a.m., and I remember that specifically. I woke again to something that, at first, I wasn't sure what it was. All I know is I heard the slightest rustling sounds in the room, and I knew someone was in there with me. I was scared to sit up and look, but I did. And then the rustling stopped. I noticed even in the darkness of the room, the slightest sight of a shadowy figure, barely visible in the dark, hovering over my bag in the corner of the room. I said in a panicked, shaky voice, "Who is that?" And a deep man's voice responded, "It's housekeeping. Sorry, I'll leave now." I didn't even respond. I was so shook,
I'm
but I
gone.
saw the black mass move from my bag to the door opened and closed.
Fuck that
I
shit.
immediately flicked on the light and rushed to the door to put on the chain lock. I went to my bag and saw that it had clearly been gone through. I had to gather myself for a few minutes before calling the front desk.
Fuck that.
I told them someone with a key just broke into my room and was going through my stuff. The front desk person said that no housekeeping staff was currently there. I packed all my stuff and rushed to the little lobby where I called the police and demanded they check the video surveillance footage. When police arrived, that's when the desk worker agreed to show the surveillance footage, and it showed a large, scary-looking man repeatedly walking down the halls all sketchy-like, going to my door multiple times, and then finally entering my room with a key. The man at the front desk said that the man didn't work there, and he must have somehow stolen a master key from the hotel.
Got it.
I got my money back and immediately fled from that hotel, driving another half hour and eventually sleeping in my car. This experience somewhat permanently tainted my opinion of hotels, unfortunately. I wonder if I could have pressed charges on the hotel for negligence or endangering a guest, or anything like that, really, but I never bothered. I just try to block it out now.
You see, I couldn't block that out. I would be so traumatized from that experience that
I used to work night shifts for a small delivery company, so on my off days, I would take short weekend trips alone just to get out of the house.
forget it.
During one of these trips, I stayed at a cheap hotel in New Jersey because it was close to a hiking trail I wanted to check out the next morning. The hotel wasn't terrible, but it had that old smell, and the hallways were too quiet, like no one else was staying there. I checked in during the early evening, and the woman at the front desk told me housekeeping had already cleaned all the rooms for the night. I didn't think about that detail until later when everything unfolded.
No.
My room was on the second floor,
God.
and the hallway light flickered when I walked to my door.
What the fuck?
I didn't pay much mind to how creepy the hotel was because I was just so tired. I wanted to eat, shower, and go to sleep. The room looked clean at first glance. The sheets were tucked in perfectly, but the pillow on the chair looked a little crooked. I fixed it without thinking and turned on the small TV. After relaxing for a bit and eating snacks, I got in the shower. When I came out, the bathroom mirror was foggy and the room felt colder than before.
Yeah.
I brushed it off and got into bed. The room had a dark corner near a small closet, and I kept noticing it out of the corner of my eye. It made me feel like someone was standing there, even though I knew it was empty. I fell asleep eventually, but I woke up sometime after midnight because I heard a strange, soft noise. It sounded like something sliding on the carpet in the corner of the room. I opened my eyes slowly and listened. The room was dim because the curtains were thin and some light from the parking lot came through. I thought maybe I was imagining things because I was still half asleep. Then I heard a quiet breathing sound, not mine, and it was coming from near the closet. I stayed completely still because I got scared instantly. The breathing was slow, like someone trying to stay quiet but struggling. I told myself it had to be the air conditioner, but the unit was on the other side of the room, and it made a totally different sound. I didn't want to sit up because I was afraid of what I might see, but eventually I forced myself to. I slowly pushed myself up on my elbows and looked toward the closet. I couldn't see anything at first. It was just a dark corner. But then I noticed something that made my stomach twist. The closet door, which I knew I had left completely open after checking it earlier, was now slightly closed. Not fully, but enough that it looked touched. I stared at the gap and tried to listen. The breathing stopped the second I sat up, and that made me even more scared because it meant something or someone realized I was awake. I wanted to run out of the room, but I was frozen in place. After a minute of silence, I got up very slowly and walked backward toward the door while keeping my eyes on the closet. I reached for the doorknob, turned it carefully, and stepped into the hallway. The hallway was empty and felt even quieter than before. My heart was beating so fast I felt lightheaded. I went downstairs to the front desk, but no one was there. The desk phone was ringing like someone called the hotel, but no one picked up. I didn't know if I should wait or try to find someone else. I didn't want to go back upstairs alone. After a few minutes, the woman who worked the front desk finally came out of the back room looking tired. I told her someone was in my room. She looked confused and said housekeeping was gone for the night, and no one else had keys to guest rooms except for her and one older housekeeper who left hours ago. She offered to check the room with me or move to another, but she seemed so calm that it made me doubt myself a little. I asked her to come with me back to the room just to check. We went upstairs together. I expected to see the closet wide open or something messed up, but when we entered the room, everything looked normal. The closet was fully open again. The pillow on the chair was straight. Nothing seemed touched, even though I knew something had changed earlier. The woman checked behind the curtains and in the bathroom and under the bed, and she found nothing. She said maybe I had a nightmare or woke up confused, and honestly, this kind of offended me, but I didn't want to argue with her because I was tired and embarrassed, so I decided to switch to another room down the hall. She gave me a different key and left me alone. I moved my stuff to the new room quickly and locked the door. I checked every corner twice before lying down again. I tried to sleep, but the fear kept my eyes open. It was only around 1 a.m. and the night felt never-ending. I kept listening for anything strange. After about an hour, I finally started drifting off when I heard something that made my entire body turn cold. It was the sound of a housekeeping cart rolling down the hallway very slowly. The squeaky wheels echoed down the hall. The problem was that it was way past housekeeping hours, and the woman at the front desk said no one else was working. I sat up in bed and listened. The cart's wheels stopped right outside my new door. I didn't move. I held my breath for a bit so I could listen. Then I heard something worse. I heard someone else breathing right outside the door, and it sounded exactly like the heavy, slow breathing I heard from inside the first room. It went on for almost a full minute. I wanted to run or call someone, but my phone was across the room on the desk, and I was too scared to move. Then I heard a gentle knocking sound. Not with knuckles, but like someone pressing their palm against the door softly. They were feeling the door, not knocking. Eventually, the breathing stopped, and the wheels squeaked again as the cart was pushed slowly down the hallway. I got up after a few minutes and looked through the peephole, but the hallway was empty. The cart was gone too. I checked my phone and thought about calling the front desk again, but I felt like they would think I was crazy. I locked the chain on the door, pushed the chair against it, and sat awake for hours. I kept thinking about the first room and the breathing. I tried to convince myself it was just someone on my floor messing around. Early in the morning around sunrise, I finally left the room and went downstairs to check out. The woman at the desk was gone, and a man was there instead. I told him what happened, and he gave me a strange look. Then he said something that disturbs me to this day. He said they had not had a housekeeper on staff for the last week because the woman who used to work nights just stopped coming in. He explained that either he or whoever else was on front desk duty would have to clean the rooms in the meantime. He seems like there was something he was hiding from me to save face for the hotel. I asked him if the missing housekeeper had keys to the rooms, and he said yes, she did. I left immediately after and did not look back at the hotel. I kept thinking about how that woman at the desk said housekeeping had already been through all the rooms earlier that evening, even though no one had been hired for a week. I don't know if she made that up or if she actually thought the missing woman had done it, but the breathing I heard in the room and outside my door sounded too real, and the way the closet door moved on its own still makes me feel sick. I think someone had been hiding inside that room before I ever arrived. I think they were still hiding somewhere in the hotel while I slept.
Nope, nope, nope. Wow.
I work as a house person at a hotel. It's a mix of maintenance and housekeeping. My job is to mostly help the front desk, which mainly involves me fixing guests' appliances and bringing them supplies. Another one of my jobs is to keep our pool clean and stashed with towels, which is relevant to the story I'm about to share. This took place in summer of 2023. My boss hired a new front desk worker, which for privacy reasons, I'll call her Brianna. She was working the night shifts, so I had a schedule change to help her on nights. It was a Wednesday night, so for our hotel, means it was a dead night, basically no check-ins. Me and Brianna mostly just chatted for the night while we did our stuff, which led to me going to our pool. For a guest here, if you wanted to go swimming, you had to fill out a form which basically gives you all the rules, and you'll be handed a pool key. Our managers gave us employees master keys that can get you into basically anything in the hotel. I clicked the key onto the lock, and the pool door unlocked, allowing me to head in. The pool has a storage room, which we stash towels, and also other stuff like chlorine and whatnot. I opened the storage room and grabbed towels, since I saw there was little to none on the rack. As I was bending down to grab one more towel, I heard something hit the water. I actually jumped because it startled the hell out of me, and it caused me to drop the towels. I rushed out back to the pool area and saw one of our lifesavers floating on top of the water. It was so bizarre because there was no way this lifesaver could have been in the water without having been tossed into the pool. I looked around the pool to see if someone had entered, but there was no one in here except for me. I pulled in the lifesaver out of the pool and quickly got back to putting towels out and left. I was weirded out for sure. I asked Brianna, who was at the front desk, if anyone went to the pool, and of course she said no. I didn't want to bring up the weird incident that happened since she was new and I wanted to give her a good impression of not sounding delusional. The night went on and nothing happened until around 9:30 p.m. I grabbed a maintenance slip and read what the problem was. Room 324's toilet wasn't working. I trotted my way up to room 324 and let myself in with the key. When you open the door, immediately to the right is the bathroom. If you walk straight past the bathroom, you'll find 2 beds on the right side of the room. I headed right towards the toilet and lifted the lid up to fix it. There was no one in the room since Brianna told me the guest wasn't arriving until Friday. While I was adjusting the valves and flapper inside of the toilet to see what wasn't working, I felt the temperature all of a sudden drop. I stopped what I was doing and stood there, feeling the hairs on my arms slowly raising up. What the hell? I said in my head as I looked at all the vents that could possibly be letting cold air in. Then I realized there could be no cold air. It was a summer night, a warm summer night to be specific. So what the hell could make the temperature just drop?
Ghost.
As soon as I had this thought, I felt the air return to normal, and my hairs went back down. I checked the thermostat in the room, and it read 68 degrees. This put me more on edge now, since I hadn't forgotten the pool incident. I wanted to fix the toilet and get out of here, so I went back into the bathroom and back to fixing the toilet. It felt like 2 minutes went by, because I heard the toilet start to flush again. I sighed out of relief and watched the water in the tank rise back up. When over the sound of the water, there was an audibly loud thump coming from somewhere outside the bathroom. I froze in place. And then, that all too familiar cold feeling coming back. My heart started to race as my mind started to race at what could have made that noise. I put the lid back on top of the toilet and made my way out of the bathroom. I turned my head right to face the 2 beds and saw the room phone on the nightstand dangling. However, I wasn't paying attention to the phone dangling. I was paying attention to what I saw past the phone. In the corner of the room, right next to the bed, there was a really tall person standing still as ever. I felt myself struggling to breathe with what I was looking at. I was frozen stiff in the doorway of the bathroom. I couldn't see any features on this person. It was just this completely black figure in the dim room, like a character outline when you unlock them in a fighting game. It stood so still I couldn't hear any noise emit from it.
That's what.
Then, I swear to God, he, she, it, whatever, moved. I don't know which limb moved, but all I know is I saw this figure move. I practically bolted for the main door, flinging it open so fast I almost smacked myself in the face. I closed the door and rushed back down to the first floor where Brianna was at the front desk. I told her that I was punching out, and we said our farewells for the night. While driving home, I was wrapped in my head, trying to figure out what just happened to me. I connected the pool incident to the room incident. I had no idea what that thing was in my room. And yes, I say thing now because I realized that couldn't be any human I know, and how I couldn't read a single feature of it. It was enough for me to get out of there.
Yeah.
I like to think my mind was just playing tricks on me, but I have no way of knowing for sure.
This isn't working.
Nothing weird like this has happened to me since, which I'm thankful for, because that was the scariest night of my life.
My mouse has to be possessed at that point. All right, let's see what else. Let's see. How about this one? Trick or treat a hole.
It's all in the love. It's all in the love. Oh, baby, when you're feeling down, just get on up. Just get on up. Just get on up. Just get on up. Just get
Who are you supposed to be? Did you read the sign? No candies. Go away.
What is going to happen?
You won't give up, huh? Let me get a candy for you.
He just locked it out. Oh, gonna have to give the candy.
Here you go.
Oh God.
Oh, actually, I forgot. This was the last one.
Oh.
And I really, really, really want to eat this.
Oh. Oh my God.
Mm. Mm.
That's it.
Mm. Mm. Mm.
Hey yo.
Mm-hmm. Mm. I'm out of candies now, okay? Bye-bye. You won't give up, huh? Okay, I'm sorry. Let me get a candy for you. My mistake. Let me get a real candy for you. Okay?
He ate in front of the. I don't know what that is. Yeah, I think it's a girl, but I also think it's a person. I just really pulled down my coffee. Oh, God. What the fuck? Ew, that is disgusting. Ass. Ew. I'm never gonna do anything.
Here you go. It tastes really delicious. Enjoy and happy Halloween, okay? And I'm sorry about last time. Sorry, okay? Enjoy.
Loser.
They say, oh yeah, I'm sad, but on Halloween I feel so glad. Fun and pranks, candy snacks when the zombies rise.
Oh no. You don't even get to see what happened?
Happy Halloween! Trick or treat! Trick or treat!
What happened? Yo. Did she kill him? Did like anyone kind of gather what happened? Like, I'm so lost. The fuck just happened? Should we do one more horror clip and then call it for the afternoon? That's what I'm thinking. My phone's actually dying, so TikTok's gonna like die here soon. So, unless I go grab my stuff to plug it in. There's the smiling. Choose Your Fate, a short horror film. Thanksgiving 3. Thanksgiving Horror 2. I love the ASMR ones. The ASMR ones are a fucking trip. These are a trip too. Horror films. Let's do. Happy Meal, anyone? Or Don't Look Back, Bugaboo, Skinwalker. Any of these look good, you guys? Clap, clap. Omegle 2. Mama Agnes. Oh, that looks creepy. It wants to end my live. It doesn't think I'm here. It doesn't think I'm here. There. Okay. Why does it do that? I hate that. Ooh, La Boo Boo.
We're done.
Are you kidding me?
Don't touch my homework again. Seriously? Does no one in this house know how to refill anything?
Insert screen.
You!
Kylie! What on earth did you do?
It wasn't me, Mom, I swear!
Then who did? And don't you dare say your brother because he's at his friend's tonight.
It wasn't me.
I don't know what's gotten into you lately, but the misbehaving stops now.
It wasn't me.
If you can't tell the truth, hand over your phone.
What, Mom? No!
Now. You'll get it back in a week.
You're done getting me in trouble.
Bullshit. That didn't mean to happen that way. There we go. I can see everything. There you go.
Where did you go? That's it. You're going in the trash when I find you.
What are you doing? Speak about the truth, Beverly.
Oh, no, you don't.
Okay. So, what did you think of the Labubus? Who's still on YouTube right now? How many of you guys are still actively on YouTube right now? Because I might log off of YouTube and just do TikTok for a little bit longer. Trying to see. Okay, Bun. Yeah, head over to YouTube, to TikTok. Yeah, TikTok. I almost said YouTube. Not like we're not on YouTube. My brain's like, oh yeah, just like head over to like YouTube. Not like we're not already on it. And go a little bit longer on Tickety Talk, and then we will end it from there. Okay, see you there. Okay, Fabletics, stop texting me, Fabletics. Trying to figure out how does one end this again. Okay, wait. Hello? Okay, there we go.